Live Life Like a Festival has two elements. First of all, it has the surface element, which is people come to the festival and they choose different things to do, different activities. They sample different categories. And the idea behind the festival is to offer people a broad range of options that they might not have thought of before. A broad range of options they can sample in a safe space. They can feel successful in sampling them. They don't have to feel the pressure of making something commercial or making something to impress people or to get it right. They just feel the joy of the sampling. And in that sampling, people discover things they didn't know they had. They didn't know were there. And those things that they didn't know were there, but they've been there all along. Little impulses, maybe memories of when they were young and they loved watercolors, but they didn't quite know it could be done. And then they see a watercolor artist at Leaf, and the artist says, well, come take my class. And the next thing you know, the quiet seed that was in there when they were young has now blossomed into a full-blown watercolor practice that might end up being commercial or not. So this isn't about being commercial and going pro, unless you want to, and you can, and many do. It's about going vertical after you sample the surface. And when you go vertical after you sample the surface, once that vertical starts to happen, it actually makes a shift from the surface going down like a hierarchy, and pretty soon the vertical becomes 360. And it becomes this comprehensive awareness. And so you're no longer surface and vertical, but you're just committed to yourself. And in a sense, it's a soulful way of falling in love with who you are. And so the surface work becomes the vertical work. The vertical work takes you into the depths of who you are. And in those depths lies all the unknown rooms that you haven't visited, but you've been in there for a long time, or you've been going to them and you know they're there. And once you get into that, you create meaning for yourself. And when you start to create meaning for yourself, it becomes self-generating. And when people see you self-generating meaning for yourself, they're drawn to it. And they become influenced by you. And so once again, you become part of the surface that's sampled because of the depth that you've created in your 360 awareness. And somebody else comes along, a teenager, sees what you're doing and has the same experience, makes the same commitment. And so it's about learning to commit to yourself and to the meanings that exist in you that you know you can find once you make that commitment. And the best part about this is it's not a career, it's not something that you do for anybody else, it's something that you learn to do for yourself, and you learn to do it in ways that nobody else could because it's unique to you. The snowflake is a snowflake singular. You're singular in the collective sense of all people, but you stand in your own authorship, the own authority of who you are. And once that happens, you then become a creative leader for yourself. People notice it, and then it feeds them, and it moves out. And that's how you create the culture of creativity, which is a broad scope. The culture of creativity is something that we all can be a part of, and we bring whatever we have to bear in that sensibility, and it becomes us, you, me, us. And that, my friends, is what imaginative intelligence is all about.